they have made preparations in their world, and they created their own versions of NASA and space forces and all this stuff, and they were getting ready. And then when the time came, they were able to blast off and leave their dome and travel through plasma conduits into other realms, probably having no idea where they were going, unless they're way more advanced than that. And they have to wear these metallic types of helmets and stuff. Oftentimes you'll actually see a point on these. They took the point off after the energy dwindled in this world, and they didn't really have a need for the point. But they wore this type of armor. It was mostly protection against electrical an electrified atmosphere. So here we got He-Man, and then a couple more of his friends show up, Man-at-Arms and Teela. Man-at-Arms is basically like the leader of the army of Eternia. Teela is basically like also the leader of the army of Eternia, but usually she's more of like a palace political type. So now we got like some Lord of the Rings thrown in there with like dwarves like on this weird planet. That's because dwarves existed, okay? Hobbits, dwarves, all of those things are real. Pygmies, right? We talk about pygmies all the time. These are just the little people that age for a very, very long time. Their noses get real long because the nose keeps growing. Their ears get really long, right? And if they're short, they tend to be portrayed as dwarven. And we've broken down that word before. Or if they're tall, they tend to be portrayed as elven or the Elu. Now, this guy created this contraption right here, which is basically called the cosmic key. The key to getting into the cosmos. The key to leaving this world behind. The key symbolism, the door symbolism, Janus, right? The janitor. Remember that because that's going to come into play. And also, speaking of which, I have a special guest coming on to my show. We're planning it for this Monday. You may know him as the Black Sheep Researcher. And we're going to be talking about Janus, actually. So tune in for that. The cosmic key can open a doorway to anywhere, he says. That's true. That's right above your head. Actually, it's right above the North Pole at the apex of the firmament itself. That firmament will be broken open. The east gate, the upwards gate, that will open up one day. When it does, otherworldly creatures will accidentally fall in or pile down into this world. That will be monstrous in form, the many of you, but then purposefully there will actually be space travelers or fractalverse travelers, sliders and whatnot. That beam, that blue beam, Mount Meru symbolism, that is always the key whenever it comes to these movies. Sometimes they include two other keys, the anode and the cathode, right? All three of those keys. Those are all keys, okay? And they're keys to a location and an event. Now, this lit up baby blue sorceress says, Skeletor has imprisoned me within this energy field. Imprisoned behind an energy field. That's electromagnetic talk, okay? Forget about the human. This is a blue beam of light that is imprisoned behind an energy field, okay? Plasma is repelled by a magnetic force, a strong magnetic force. Now, he says, her powers increase my own. And when the moon reaches its zenith, the great eye will open. What the hell is he talking about, the great eye? I wonder, what could he possibly be talking about, the great eye opening, right? That will increase his power, which is death.